one thing that we're seeing in almost every single patient every day is, we don't see tumors anymore. We don't see blockages in hearts. We see stressed out people. I think the more alarming thing is how society is now evolving. There's more hypocrisy, there's more fakeness, there's more people not living their authentic self. Everyone wants to be someone else, everyone's pretending. I would literally call burnout a media and a corporate scam. I don't believe in work-life balance. Right there, we're wrong. If I want to work 19 hours, I'll work 19 hours. I won't make my teams do that, but I will also make sure I don't lose my health. I see spiritual guilt emerging in most people, including teenagers, which is a big problem. If I'm used to overthinking or thinking negatively, every time I start ending my overthinking with that, hey, but everything's going to be fine. There's a new pathway. There's a new message, a new pattern. So I can only override it by doing a different action repeatedly. We're just trying to resist everything. When you're in a state of resistance, you can never be in a state of acceptance. Now, a lot of people leave, I'll just surrender and everything will fall into my life and, without doing any work. That isn't surrender.
Yeah.
That's laziness. That's all of those things.
Yeah.
People confuse manifestation with that. I want to manifest everything, but they don't want to put in the effort to do
the
it.
action. Yeah.
The action, the emotion, all of those things. Any business which is scaling rapidly right now is built on convenience because the human mind has gotten so lazy. Reward meal, that's created a problem for anyone's health. It's the overconsumption of it, and I think the stress that comes along with it. If you want to eat a pizza and an ice cream, eat it because it's making you happy. The moment we put an emotion, then I'm angry, so I'm going to eat. I'm sad, I'm going to eat. That becomes a problem. We can go on with gut. We can talk about pomegranates and kiwis and all of that stuff. But traditionally, because I want to give a lot of respect to our country, the Sattvic diet is one of the healthiest diets if you have a gut problem. Do a Sattvic diet for 7 to 10 days. Now that's going to have to ask you to challenge your own ego and your pride because it's boring, it's simple. You won't be able to eat out for 7 days, but it'll solve your problem.
Welcome back, Luke. It's so lovely to have you here for a longer, deeper, more meaningful conversation.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Over the past, say, 12 months, what is something that you've noticed that has kind of taken you aback, right? Because you interface with so many people, you connect with people on Instagram. Is there something that you felt like, okay, this is different, something that's happening?
So the one thing I've noticed, which is quite alarming, is while we have disease, we'll continue to have people struggling to lose weight, hormonal issues, etc., etc. I think the more alarming thing is how society is now evolving. There's more hypocrisy, there's more fakeness, there's more people not living their authentic self. Everyone wants to be someone else, everyone's pretending, which over time starts to get so exhausting.
Yeah.
It's easy to blame the environment on our health, work-life balance on health, poor food quality. It plays a role, no doubt. But it doesn't mean we don't ignore things that are also happening, which are contributing towards this. I mean, the one thing that we're seeing in almost every single patient every day is, we don't see tumors anymore. We don't see blockages in hearts. Those are symptoms. We see stressed out people. We don't see a 13-year-old with juvenile diabetes. We see a 13-year-old who is absolutely stressed out. We don't see a 13-year-old girl with PCOS. PCOS is the symptom. Stressed out, peer pressure, unable to handle life, emotions. And you can tie it in with statistics of suicides, the increase of drug usage, the increase of alcoholism. Every statistic ties in with a data point at some particular point. So these are more alarming. While the media and the news will focus on, whatever's happening, there was a bad air crash, there were pollution issues, there's government, all of that stuff. These are great, but these are distractions for what is really, really happening. In today's world, we have access to content, we have access to going out, varieties of food, people can travel more, everything. But we should be a happier society. But we're far from that.
Yeah.
We're far from that. And for me, that is alarming because it kind of divides society at a very deep level when people are meant to have to come together for communities to work, for society to work. Okay, we're actually splitting up. If you can look, there's always fights between communities, fights between religions, fights between vegans and non-vegetarians, and there's just fights. And if you go back into civilizations and history, it was always divide and conquer. If you can keep the middle class people, without using it in a derogatory term, which is all of us, if you can keep us fighting against each other, competing with one another, you've kept us divided.
Yeah.
Because unity and coming together is a superpower. And most people don't want that. Most countries will not want that. And this is alarming because it ties down directly with my work, which is people's health.
Yeah.
People claim they want to be ambitious, but you don't become ambitious and lose your health. You can be ambitious, but you also got to look after your health. So while people are ambitious, they're also greedy.
Yeah.
While people say that, oh, I'm fighting for equality, deep down in their hearts, that's an attitude of wokeism. And wokeism is another huge issue in our society right now.
Why
No
do you
one
say
wants,
that?
so many people are woke. People don't understand the meaning of true freedom. People don't understand the meaning of equality. So the point is they use these things, genders. People use genders again to create issues. We should respect all genders. We should respect all people, irrespective of color, sex, whatever it is. But when you build all these compartments, what are you doing? Compartments are meant to divide people. And this is alarming. These are the things we're seeing more and more and across ages. And this is a huge, huge connection with emotional and mental health problems, as we can see all of those things rising around us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, while we'll always have problems in our food chain, we'll have problems with the air, hopefully we can all work together to change that. But what's happening within us, it warrants personal responsibility. And most people today are not willing to take that personal responsibility.
100%. Because it's always easier to kind of validate it externally, right? Like this happened, therefore it allowed this chain of reactions to happen. It's not me. Like you typically think of yourself last, right? As some kind of contributing factor to everything that is happening. So when you talk about a conscious life and you talk about, truly working inwards and working on the inner components that can probably, change or alter your external reality, what are some of the elements that people can focus on when they're thinking of being at their optimal internally?
I think you brought up a beautiful word, consciousness. Conscious decisions. We're not asking people to be extreme. We're not asking people to be extreme with your workouts. Be conscious. Did I move today? Am I using my muscles? Am I stretching if I have a sitting job? Be conscious. That's it. But you see, the compartments are, oh, you need to be in the gym for 1 hour. Oh, you missed your Pilates class. Oh, you need to do 1 hour of yoga. No, these are compartments that make us fail after a while because everyone isn't built with the same amount of inspiration, motivation, and choices of goals. So I think, I'll bring in the point over here that we also have a new fad, which has been slowly emerging over the years. It's a spiritual fad.
Really?
What I mean by a spiritual fad? It's very easy for spiritual leaders, okay, to sit and preach to people on how to build their lives, without guiding them. They're not in the same environment as a husband and a wife, as a girlfriend and a boyfriend, as someone who's managing a job and a home and a family and stuff like that. I see spiritual guilt emerging in most people, including teenagers, which is a big problem. Okay, spirituality should empower us. It should not make us feel guilty. People are trying to be, oh, I didn't do this, I'm trying to do this. Okay, should I be calm? Should I be... we need to understand that spirituality across religions and across paths recognizes an emotional human frame. What does that mean? You, me, everyone in this room. We all carry the 7 deadly sins. We all carry negative emotions and positive emotions. We can't pretend we don't have it.
Yeah.
We all have it. Spirituality teaches us how to channel it. Like I can be angry, but I can channel it into work. I can be sad, I can channel it into art. I can go through grief, I can channel it into something else. I can go through lust, I can channel that energy into something else. The point is you're left feeling guilty that you can't, how can you feel this way? How can you be this way? And this is actually stressing out a lot of teenagers and people in their 20s and 30s and even in their 50s that, oh, I'm not meeting that path where certain spiritual leaders are like sitting up in the Himalayas or sitting in their ashrams and, just laying it out to people when it's not practical. Now we can take essences. How do we become kind in life? How are we forgiving? How can we make mistakes and forgive ourselves, forgive other people? These are little things that we can do, and that is a spiritual thread that connects all of us.
Yeah.
So, coming back to your word consciousness, I like that word because every human is going to make mistakes. Every human is going to be able to do good things. We have to learn how to consciously move and navigate through these things.
There's almost a lot of like heaviness or a lot of weight on your shoulders to feel positive or feel happy all the time, which is just not sustainable because you're meant to feel the fluctuation of emotions.
Absolutely.
But what you can do, obviously, is navigate it better, right? Like, okay, I am feeling upset about something at work or something with my spouse or something to do with my health. I didn't work out today. How can people navigate those emotions better? Like, nobody's saying that you have to feel positive all the time, but how can you move your emotions from that space of low frequency or negativity into the positive?
Yeah, the only way to change a frequency is by changing a thought. It's as simple as that. If I ask you to be angry right now, you can't be angry.
Yeah,
unless I say something, but you first have to have a thought that makes you angry. If I ask you to be sad, you can't be sad. You first have to have a thought. So our thoughts create our feelings and our emotions. Our frequencies will change with our changing thought. That I may be very upset right now, but I'll think a good thought, or I'll listen to music, and I'll immediately change. The situation hasn't changed. The spouse hasn't changed. The problem hasn't changed. But why has your mood changed? Because you switched frequencies. How did you switch frequencies? By changing your thought. You even needed a thought to distract yourself. That, okay, I'll just walk out and have a cup of coffee or play my favorite song. You needed a thought to do that. So you're right. It's absolutely toxic for people to even think that they have to be happy all the time. We're not meant to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
Is a baby happy all the time? No, they cry, they get angry. We're not meant to. But I think this whole, and again, that is wokeism again. That, oh, I'm just trying to be happy. I'm just trying to be relaxed. I'm just trying to, we're chasing the wrong emotions.
Yeah.
If we embrace sadness, it can teach us. We dwell in sadness, now that's our problem. Right? We're not changing our thoughts. We're thinking the same sad thoughts. There's something called nutrition psychology, where you understand why people do the same things over and over again. They want to lose weight, but they want to align it with the right actions. A cancer patient doesn't want to die, but will not align it with the right actions. For example, a 4th stage lung cancer patient who still wants to smoke a box of cigarettes a day. Wants to live, but doesn't want to align the right action. So when you go into the psychology of the mind, and you try to figure out, why these things happen, it's because our thoughts haven't really kicked in. They're not aligned with how we want to feel and how we need to be.
Yeah.
So toxic positivity is a huge one.
Another trait, right, which is very common and so many people suffer from it, is overthinking, where you're probably thinking or going through certain events that have happened in the past over and over and over again, and it eats you up, even though it's nowhere in your present, but it's in your present in your mind. And that chronic overthinking is such a huge problem. How does one solve for that?
So there could be many reasons for overthinking. Number one, the person's overthinking, okay, it's their nature to overthink. They're looking for safety. They're looking for some amount of, to complete the picture in their head. Some people are overthinking the problem, but you know the problem. What if you channel the energy of overthinking a problem into the solution? Most people get stuck over there. By overthinking the problem, you're strengthening that neural pathway in your subconscious mind over and over again. Overthinking can also stem from a space of wanting to be in control. And no one is in control of anything. You're thinking, no, I can make this work. No, but it can't. You're trying to control something which is out of control. It's a person, a thing, or an event. So the first thing is, if you want to overthink something which is within your control, go ahead. But if it's out of your control, you're wasting every moment of your energy trying to overthink something that is not in your control, because there are only 3 actions if something's not in your control: acceptance, letting go, surrender. There's nothing else. If it's going to rain right now, it's out of our control. We accept it, let go, it rained, surrender, it's raining, there's nothing to do. There's no other action that we can take. The actions will be, okay, get an umbrella, or etc., etc. That's it. Most people overthink, because they want to be in control of something.
If you go back to the 3 pillars that you just said, right, which is accept, let go, surrender, how does one do that? Especially when your brain, like you said, like the neural pathway becomes thicker and thicker, and it's been established. You're in that pattern of overthinking. How can you kind of break the pattern, or kind of try to not be in that space?
It's simple. I'll explain it through the example of a bad habit.
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone has a bad habit of having 8 cups of coffee in a day, okay, it's become a habit because you've had 8 cups, so it's growing thicker and thicker. To change that, I can't grow a new neural pathway. I can build on the same one. So now all of a sudden, Luke has 4 cups today, but the brain he usually has 8. Okay, Second day, I have 4 cups again. There's a change happening. I am overriding the old pattern with a new pattern. That's how it is. All habits can only be built by overriding the old one. So if I'm used to overthinking or thinking negatively, every time I start ending my overthinking with that, hey, but everything's going to be fine. There's a new pathway. There's a new message, a new pattern. So I can only override it by doing a different action repeatedly. The same way the old pattern grew with repetition, I grew the new pattern with what I want it to be on repetition. Coming to acceptance, most of us struggle with acceptance because of our ego and pride. Like, why should I accept this? Why should it be this way? Why should it be that way? It's our ego and pride.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. But as people learn to move through life, and that's what I mean when we're living our authentic selves, we're very clear of what matters to us in life. It becomes easier to accept. When we're connected outwards to the world, we're puppets, everyone's pulling this emotion, that emotion, we got to be this way, that way, and stuff like that. It's very difficult to accept because you're not connected with yourself. So acceptance, the difficulty to accept is really actually the opposite, which is resistance.
Yeah.
We're just trying to resist everything. When you're in a state of resistance, you can never be in a state of acceptance.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. People also struggle a lot with surrender, right? Because also there are so many different variations of surrender, especially now with Instagram, where almost everybody can look into the camera and say, this is what my perception is. What does true surrender mean, right? Where you truly feel like, okay, I've now totally taken a step back. It is out of my control. It is what it is. How can one begin to take on that process of surrender?
Yeah, that's a great question. Most people find it difficult with surrender because
I can't believe I'm still in the queue. I've been refreshing for ages.
They're almost sold out. We won't get any.
Karishma, how are you so calm? We are in ticket chaos over here.
Oh, I already have my ticket sorted. Living it up isn't just a goal, it's my way of life. And the HSBC Live Plus credit card helps me do just that. I mean, imagine getting early access to concerts, and every time I swipe, I earn unlimited cash back. But here's the thing, it's not just about the perks. It's about simplifying life, celebrating the small wins, and elevating every moment to its fullest potential. From a night out to everyday essentials, the Live Plus credit card makes every moment an experience.
one is they think it's a weakness. And surrender is actually a strength. It's a very powerful strength. So people think that I'll become a doormat if I surrender. But surrender doesn't mean giving up.
Yeah,
The difficulty to surrender is because, again, people want to be in control.
correct.
So true surrender, on the opposite side of surrender, is peace and freedom. That is actual peace and freedom. So I'm able to, I can't control it. I've done everything I can. Now I need to surrender. I think now a lot of people say, oh, I'll just surrender and everything will fall into my life, and without doing any work. Now, obviously, that isn't surrender.
Yeah.
That's laziness. That's all of those things.
Yeah.
People confuse manifestation with that. Oh, I want to manifest everything, but they don't want to put in the effort to do
The
it.
action. Yeah.
The action, the emotion, all of those things. So I think surrender is a beautiful thing. It doesn't make us weaker. It makes us stronger. And we need to know what we need to surrender with. Like you can't say that, oh, I want this blockage in my heart, cleaning up itself, but I'm not going to work out. I'm not going to eat the right food. That's not surrender. Oh, I just surrendered to God. God's going to look out. You still got to do the work.
Yeah.
You still got to put in the effort.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about a holistic lifestyle, right? There's so much again written or said about how do you holistically live, which is obviously to do with your thoughts, your mindfulness, your consciousness, but also like things like you said earlier, move, right? Have I moved today? The kind of things that you eat. There's so much more conversation in a good way about, the kind of myths that are surrounding certain foods, reading ingredient labels, etc. There's so much. According to you, what's a holistic life of well-being?
See, I think everyone has a perspective on this. I don't have a perspective on a holistic life. I always look at what does the human body and the mind require to survive and to thrive. Okay, that is holistic. It has holistic needs. It needs sunlight in the morning or natural light, which most people don't get. We need movement. What kind of movement? We need flexibility. We don't need what Instagram tells us, just muscles and Pilates and stuff. That's great. But what does your body need? Your body needs flexibility, it needs mobility, it needs cardiovascular lung strength, it needs strength, it needs muscle tone for your bones, for your endocrine system, it needs nutrients, which comes from your food, the raw materials to sustain your health, your growth, repair. We need sleep. We need connection with nature. I mean, that's why everyone's constantly escaping the city. Why do
Yeah.
they keep going to,
The
hill
beaches
stations?
or the
Why?
mountains, yeah.
They're being pulled towards nature. The body craves it. So these are not what I think. It's always what does the body need? And what the body needs is holistic in nature. It's everything. It needs appreciation. It needs acknowledgement. It needs to feel safe in a relationship, whatever the relationship is. It needs to have love, whatever the form is. It doesn't have to be husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. It can come in so many different forms because love is an energy. Again, it's a perception. Like Instagram makes most people feel unloved if people try to follow the definition of love on Instagram. But it's an energy. It's different to every people. So this is what the human body and the soul requires. It's holistic, and that's what we give it. Now, it could be different for everyone. I may thrive more with nature because I need it more. Maybe I was born, closer to nature. Someone born in the middle of a city may not have that craving as much as someone else does. Someone else may need more movement for their body type. Someone may need more carbs for their body type, more protein, more fats for their body type. So you see, it's holistic and individual.
Yeah.
It's individual. Like every medicine also doesn't have the same benefit on
Of
a
course,
patient.
yeah.
Some medicines work. Sometimes the doctor has to change the medicine because everyone's different.
Yeah.
So holistic is even the nature of a relationship. Some relationships thrive with people just being friends. Some people need deeper love, deeper connections. Some people need, in relationships, they need to know what everyone's doing. Some people allow for space. Now, what is right or what is wrong?
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong. It's what's working for everyone. And that is what holistic is. Holistic and individualized.
Yeah. When you were talking earlier, saying that, you can't expect to be positive all the time, you can't expect to be happy all the time. Similarly with routines, right? Like people expect to have like a very regimental type routine every single day. And typically they fall off the habit, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll miss a day or even with meals, right? Like when it comes to me, I'm more or less aware of what I'm eating, but will there be days where I crave like a pizza and I eat that pizza? Yes. So when it comes to nutrition, well-being, and obviously you're an expert on that, is it okay to have those cheat meals, like guilt-free? Because I'm all for the occasional indulgence. And with 10% cash back on food delivery through my HSBC Live Plus credit card, it makes even the cheat meals feel great.
The longest living people, the happiest people, you don't want to just be living long and unhappy.
Yeah.
Okay, all the data connects to them having all of this stuff that you spoke about. But number one, not overdoing it.
Yeah.
Number two, not using it as a void. If you want to eat a pizza and an ice cream, eat it because it's making you happy. The moment we put an emotion that I'm angry, so I'm going to eat. I'm sad, I'm going to eat. That becomes a problem because of the patterns in the subconscious mind. That means every time Luke's sad, he eats a pizza.
Yeah.
We don't want those connections because we are going to get sad a couple of times, right? So the data all shows that we need to be in equilibrium, not even balance. Which means if I have a great week, healthy, eating well, work, of course on the weekend, I'm allowed to have what I want. Now it's also dependent on my body goals. It's dependent on my disease. Certain diseases and stages may not allow me to be so liberal with that meal until my sessions of chemo are over or my radiation. So it's also dependent. But I think people have again put themselves into compartments. I can't eat carbs. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. A pizza. What's wrong with a pizza? We have a big issue in India with the quality of food. All of my clients who are off pizzas and all of that stuff, when they travel to Europe, they eat everything and they don't have a problem.
Yeah.
The quality of food also matters. So yes, I will be careful about my choice of food, where I'm eating. Even the fanciest restaurants don't always mean that they use the best ingredients and stuff like that. But it is absolutely okay for us to do it. Again, what space is it coming from? You want to enjoy a pizza. You're happy, go ahead and do it. You're sad, you're angry, you're overeating the pizza, that's a problem.
Don't do it.
So I believe we should be liberal with ourselves. At the same time, we got to be conscious. If I want to lose weight in 4 months because there's a wedding coming up and I want to eat a pizza every second day, my goal doesn't align with my action.
Yeah.
So that's when you bring consciousness into it. Other than that, it's never been one food that's created a problem, one reward meal that's created a problem for anyone's health. It's the overconsumption of it, and I think the stress that comes along with it.
gut health, because that is again something that people are extremely concerned with their gut, how to do it, all kinds of things on the internet, etc., on what's right, what's not right, what kind of food to mix, not mix. The fundamental principle is something you just said, but anything around that for people who are looking at having a better gut health and
Yeah.
don't know when to start.
Absolutely. Everyone knows where to start. No one wants to do the right thing. There's a ton of information and great information out there on the net about what to do for gut health. The point is, are people willing to change? And this connects back to my first point. The amount of hypocrisy is the biggest obstacle to people getting better. Everyone, trust me, everyone knows that your gut health is messed up when you don't eat on time, you ate too fast, you overeat, you eat a late night meal, okay, and you eat junk and processed food. That's the fundamental. Now ask how many of these people, which ones have they got to tick in all of these boxes? And you will find no, 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 no. So then they're looking for the next thing, complication, a probiotic that can sort all these problems.
Yeah.
But a probiotic can't sort the problem of not eating on time, overeating. No, it has a role. It has a role when you have a gut issue. It has a role when you're on antibiotics and all of that stuff. So people chase complication because they want a shortcut. And that's why marketing teams work with giving people a shortcut. Like what works the best in the country right now? Swiggy, Zomato, any shortcut. Think any business which is scaling rapidly right now
quick
is
commerce.
built on convenience. If I can give you convenience, because the human mind has gotten so lazy. We can go on with gut. We can talk about pomegranates and kiwis and all of that stuff. But traditionally, because I want to give a lot of respect to our country, the Sattvic diet is one of the healthiest diets if you have a gut problem. Do a Sattvic diet for 7 to 10 days. Now that's going to have to ask you to challenge your own ego and your pride, because it's boring, it's simple. You won't be able to eat out for 7 days, but it'll solve your problem.
What is the Sattvic diet? Let's give them a...
It doesn't have onion, it doesn't have garlic, it doesn't have spices. Think of it as a plain khichdi. When you go to an Ayurvedic center, when you go to a spa, all of these spas, they give you Sattvic food. So it gives your stomach a break.
A reset.
Inflammation comes down. All of those things come down. But people are just so confused. And then there are genuine issues. People on steroids, people going through chemotherapy, medication, they will have gut issues because it's a side effect.
Yeah.
And then you repair that. There are different foods that you use, etc., etc. But if we're actually coming back to nature, what are the fruits growing locally right now? What are the vegetables growing locally? At least eat 80% of that. You can use money to buy all your other fancy blueberries, blackberries, etc. and stuff. But at least 80% of that, and your gut is going to thank you. Stress is one of the biggest causes of gut problems. I said, let's go back to school. When exam times, some people would get butterflies in their stomach, some people would get loose motions, which is now called IBS because, irritable bowel syndrome. Your gut and your mind were directly connected. The same thing is happening today in life. And that's why in the medical world, it's termed as IBS. There's no medicine to treat it. So anything that you can't find out what the problem is, it's IBS. It's anxiety. It's a lot of anxiety. Anxiety has a direct correlation with inflammation in the gut, the urge to want to poop. Constipation is a huge issue in our country, especially bad for men, worse for women, because women will tend to recycle estrogen in their bodies when they're constipated. And what are some of the conditions when we have recycled estrogen or dominance? Endometriosis, PCOS, PCOD, infertility, ER-positive breast cancers, ovarian issues, and stuff like that. Like I always said, if you look at what's happening in the world, you can always connect it with root causes, and this is one of them. So I think constipation in our country, we've grown up thinking it's normal, just take a laxative and whatever. It's not normal. Our bodies are trying to speak to us, tell us the entire plumbing system, right from the way you eat to the small intestine, stomach acid, large intestine, something's wrong somewhere. You got to fix it. It's not something that, 10 years ago it was, hey, it's normal, okay, fine, just have some isabgol, have this and you'll be fine. It's your body giving you a warning, a symptom.
Yeah.
So gut health starts with these 5 basic things. Slow down, eat at the right time every day, earlier dinners, try to maintain, and never eat before sunrise. Our bodies are not primed for that. Never eat late night meals. Why am I saying that? Because our bodies are not primed for that. Once the sun sets, once everything, our receptors in our pancreas that control insulin are literally shut off. That's why most people who eat late night meals will have indigestion. And if they're diabetic, their fasting blood sugar in the morning is going to be extremely high. So gut health is actually very, very simple to understand.
Yeah.
But because we've not looked after our gut, now all of a sudden people are but I could eat this food for 10 years, all my life, and now I can't eat it. I'm intolerant towards it.
So we're talking about stress and I mean, it's everywhere, right? And two sides of the same coin, especially in a workplace, is stress and burnout, where you get the feeling of constantly being just done, or you can't take that stress anymore. Um, Talk to me a little bit about all of the different emotions that are connected with with work-life balance, and how does one manage stress better?
So there are two kinds of stress. I mean, the chronic stress is the bad, dangerous stress.
How do you identify that?
Like you're constantly stressed every day. You go home, you're stressed at work, at home. You wake up, you're stressed. You come to work, you're stressed. It's chronic. It just doesn't end. And a lot of people say, "Look, I'm constantly on the go. I have this problem, I have that problem, and stuff." That's chronic stress. Genuine situation. Someone's working 14-hour weeks. I mean, days. Go home. They're a caregiver to a sick parent, etc. So they're constantly wired, and so that's the dangerous stress. And again, anatomy explains it very simply. We can be extremely stressed as long as we come back down to baseline. So we can have a very stressful meeting, but after that, we're calm, we're cool, we're having coffee, whatever. We found our ways to come back down to baseline. The body is extremely resilient. Extremely resilient. Otherwise, think about it. All the armed forces, right, they should be the sickest
Yeah.
with all the diseases. They're not. Why? Well, number one, they're trained to handle stress. Number two, it goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. Three, mindsets are changed. Four, they're physically fit. So coming back to your question, first of all, I would literally call burnout in a huge way a media and a corporate scam. And I'll tell you exactly why. Okay, we talk to corporates across the world. Okay, and people say, "Oh, Luke, there's burnout, there's burnout." I'm saying, like, okay, how many people are burning out in your organization? Okay, I want to meet them. In huge organizations, 6 or 7 or 8 people will come. Okay, I sit them down because I want to hear it from them. Out of those 6 to 7, 2 or 3 are really burning out. Like I said, they're working, going home, sick parents, 5 EMIs to pay, etc. They're feeling overwhelmed
In all aspects of
in
life.
all aspects of life. The rest of them, a population of them, have extremely toxic managers, extremely toxic leaders. They are burning out, very genuine. And then you have the other lot that is working 12 hours or 13 hours or 9 hours. What they're doing after work is what's burning them out. They're on social media for 5 to 6 hours. They're at the bar drinking, smoking, etc., reaching home, sleeping at 2, waking up at 6. Now, what's burning you out? Your work or your lifestyle? It's very easy to use the word burnout and project it. I said there are valid reasons, and there are absolutely invalid reasons and excuses. The thing is, the media today and social media has given everyone a platform to just rant and go on with stuff.
Yeah.
Just for drama, just for likes and validation. You know, when a CEO comes to us, or we deal with CEOs across the world, they say, "Luke, my life's going to change. I'm going to be on a flight every second day, etc., etc., etc. I want to do this. Make me bulletproof." What does that mean? Okay, because of my role, I don't want to lose my health. I don't want to lose my family. How can we build around it? If people want to work more, if people want to build startups and they know that they're going to be working a lot, how do you plant the seeds that allows you to do that? So you improve your sleep, you work out so you're stronger, you eat the right foods, you dump the vices that are actually slowing you down. You got to make yourself bulletproof. That's what the armed forces do. And this is something I learned right after the war. I got invited to Hyderabad, where I had an opportunity to speak to the IPS officers who will eventually move into different roles across the country, the armed forces, the CISF. And the one thing I learned from all of them is every day it's our job, not our job, their job. We need to become stronger and stronger because the enemy is getting stronger and stronger. For us now, let's come out of the army. Who is our enemy? Deadlines, work, competition. But are we becoming stronger and stronger, or are we becoming weaker and weaker by missing our workouts, sleeping lesser, vices, all of that stuff? So if you ask me, because most corporates today on social media have to find that balance to keep everyone happy, which is why it comes back to my first point. It's a very hypocritical world that we live in. But the point is, okay, is burnout even real? For some people, yes. What can our organizations do? Work with your leaders, etc. Keep checking in with your employees, but encourage your employees to look after their health. Just doing a tick in the box health program, calling Luke to speak, getting a nutritionist to check how much food they have, showing some yoga asanas is not enough. You got to build a culture of health, and there are great companies that have done that. Great leader, top down. The leaders are so extremely fit. It trickles down. You have the wrong leader at the top who doesn't care about their health. Why will they care about the health of their employees?
Yeah.
So coming back down, I don't believe in work-life balance. Right there, we're wrong. You can't balance, and that's what's bringing more guilt on people. That, okay, balance means I should work, whether it's 18, 17, 16 hours, that, and this is how much time I should give my wife, my partner, 1 hour, my kid will get 30 minutes. It's not possible that you can balance. We have to look at work-life equilibrium. What is equilibrium? Equilibrium is very different from balance. Nature works in equilibrium. There could be a tsunami, okay, extreme earthquake storm, followed by a complete equilibrium. There's no balance in nature. There's no balance in the corporate world. We have to look at equilibrium. There'll be good days and there will be bad days. If I know the next month is going to be difficult, we got 500 new patients, etc., hiring, all of that stuff, I'm prepared. Equilibrium, the scale is tipping. It's going to be a high pressure month. I want to sleep, I want to prepare. And I also remember the months when things were absolutely fine. So when we focus on equilibrium, it takes that pressure off us to maintain balance, which is nothing but a compartment. Nothing but a compartment. So when I was moving to this role, I moved to this role when I had my daughter. Everyone would say, oh, Luke, how much time are you going to give your daughter? You need to give them time. You need to do this, as a father, all of that stuff. I said, let me figure it out. I figured out, okay, if I give my daughter quality time, 15 minutes to 18 minutes, do what she wants, play. After 18 to 20 to 30 minutes, she goes and does her own stuff. And people saying, you need to give her at least 2 hours, at least 1 hour. Compartments, not necessary. Maybe that's for your child. But the whole point is we need to remove our minds from compartments. You can't take a beautiful human mind and put it into rigid structures, a cookie cutter approach. It can't work that way. So all these things of everyone's fighting for work-life balance, 18 hours, 14 hours, 17 hours. If I want to work 19 hours, I'll work 19 hours. I won't make my teams do that, but I will also make sure I don't lose my health. 19 hours is an exaggerated term because I need 8 hours of sleep. But the point is, if people come to us, Luke, I'm getting into this role. I don't want to lose my health. What do we do? And we build around that because it's possible. But everyone fighting to try to get this right and balance. But there is no balance in life. Tell me what is balance. Is there balance in a relationship? Impossible. Is there balance in food? Impossible. You can calculate how many macros you need today. It will be different tomorrow because your body's changing, your activity's changing, the amount of sleep you had, the depth of sleep matters. So even macro calculations are a plus and minus. There is no balance. There is only equilibrium. So I think when it comes to work-life balance, when people start seeing that now, okay, it's going to be a difficult month. Okay, let's all do what we can. Let the organization support you. Let me support myself. And then the scales tip after a while. There are good months. Like when COVID hit, people didn't have work to do.
At all.
Everything fell. Equilibrium. You see, so we need to change our perception in our mind about work-life balance. That's a scam. That's very limiting in thought process. And we have to look at equilibrium. Good days, bad days. Good and bad goes together. When we understand that as human beings, we understand that balance doesn't really fit into our perspectives.
Yeah. And I think social media also plays such a big factor in it, right? Because you're
Social
constantly...
media, honestly, our work is on that, but it's a dump.
Oh, no, I've deleted it.
If you ask me, you've
deleted
deleted it. You're lucky.
2-3 weeks ago, I just deleted it. Somebody from the team has my password. I was just like, I'm feeling... And it's amazing. It's like...
How you feel, right?
It's like I'm blissfully unaware. I do not know...
That's your natural state.
What
That's how
happening.
you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I have no... And it just feels so freeing. And like, I was telling somebody the other day that I deleted Instagram. How did you delete Instagram? Your life runs on content. I said, but I don't have to go and check it 20 times a day. I check it for work maybe 2 or 3 times a day. But the other times, I'm literally not doing anything. Like I'm just scrolling because it's so habitual right now. And in fact, like I've started like doing other things because just that natural tick isn't there, right? Where I'm checking and that dopamine hits. So like I'm doing other things that I really wanted to do and then I did not have time for, which brings me to my next question is at the offset of work-life balance, time becomes very crucial, right? Like even if you're working well, you have travel involved, you go to office, you come back, people find it extremely difficult, or so like the perception of it, to maintain a holistic lifestyle, say work out, meditate, eat right, because of the lack of time. So how would you kind of place it for individuals who feel that certain sense?
Since you said no filters, they're all excuses. They're all excuses. Let's break it down. Are all CEOs sick? Are all busy people sick? Are all pilots, cabin crew sick? Are all personnel in the army that that is the life, busy, constantly. No, it's a choice. I know people who will land, get their workout, and start their day. I know people who will sleep 8 hours. It's a choice where I want to use my time. Nothing changes. Wherever I am in the world, Bombay or New York, I still have the same 24 hours. Nothing changes. Who said you need to do a 1 hour workout?
Yeah.
I'll do a 15-minute workout. Something's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Right? We can make time. It's an absolute excuse. Our biggest issue today in society is a lack of action.
An intent, like I want to make it happen.
A lack of action. Everyone has a ton of excuses for whatever. And then there will be that day where you have absolutely no time or you're tired. Big deal, let it be. Work out the next day.
Yeah.
Take it easy. But the point is, people can make time. They've not aligned, they've not put value to their decision. When you put value on something, you look after it.
Yeah.
You tend to, do what it is. So it's really a shift in the mindset that if my health has to be important to me, I got to give it a certain amount of value. Then the actions will follow. If I don't give it value, there won't be following actions.
Yeah. So for example, right, like it is possible to do it even be healthy in a short period of time. For working professionals who are, say, spend a few hours and travel, then go running 8-hour, 9-hour days.
Mm-hmm.
What is a recipe that they can go to that's like quick, efficient, and so super healthy? I personally like to keep my kitchen stocked so I don't have to think twice on busy days. And with my HSBC Live Plus credit card, it feels even better because I get 10% off on all my grocery spends.
So like one pot meals, we've already shared this. It's all over our thing. One pot meals if you're vegetarian. Okay, so whether you're putting your dal and your rice and your paneer and your veggies, it's one pot. It's cooked at one shot. It's all there, And these are things which are very convenient for working people. If you're non-vegetarian, it's even simpler.
Yeah.
Just grill some chicken, have some rice, make a one-pot meal. Yeah. One-pot meals are extremely easy. Our traditional ways of cooking, even whether it's a dal or a khichdi or rice and a sabji and all of that stuff, is actually very quick.
Yeah.
These are very, very quick ways of doing it. So these are simple recipes that people can actually take. And we've also shared the protein macros and stuff like that with the calculation. So it makes it even faster. I know a lot of people who do soups in the monsoons. They put all their veggies in, their chicken in, or their tempeh or their paneer, and they have one meal ready and they're just having it.
It's quick. And
it's quick, it's easy, and it's healthy. You can make it healthy as well.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. We'll talk about something interesting also that you've been involved in. You've been working with the Prime Minister's office and, amazing initiatives. So just tell me a little bit about what's going on there.
Well, yeah. So in February, I had the opportunity to meet the Prime Minister. We were invited to Delhi and we spoke, and he shared his vision about Heal in India, Made in India, which is a concept that he believes we have everything in our country to actually heal and to thrive health-wise. And his vision for the future is that no one should really have to go out of our country for treatments at all. For that, infrastructure has to change and the investment in prevention. So he spoke a lot about educating people on preventive medicine, like lifestyle changes that we can, make to prevent diseases. He aligned us with his vision of obesity and diabetes, and so we're playing a huge role in that. He suggested that we start classes with children in school across the country, and he actually asked us to design a diet. It was actually called a Modi diet, where he selected all the foods and the superfoods that exist in our country that he eats, and he said, now make it into menus for people. So make a lunch menu, make a dinner menu, and this was presented to him. And any Indian citizen can download it. It's in different languages. It has the whole book of recipes according to his choices of superfoods like amla, makhana, ghee, turmeric, all of these. And we made recipes out of that. We made diet plans and charts to give Indian citizens an idea that, hey, we can do it. We can use what we have in our own country. And so that's what we're working on right now. We've started the Bharat Nutrition and Lifestyle classes. That's in Hindi and English, and we'll move into different languages. And it happens every weekend. And schools, teachers, parents, children are encouraged to, go through those sessions. So we're educating people at a grassroots level. And every month, at the start of every month, we launch a new menu for schools across the country, veg and non-veg. So schools across the country are downloading it, principals, teachers, families are taking it because moms are like, hey, it's easy. We give them the same food at home as well.
Yeah.
So everything is calculated in macros, and they're very balanced.
Right.
They're very balanced, using all Indian foods again. So I think there are some great initiatives, and his vision is very, very clear about preventive health because of, diabetes being huge right now in our country and obesity. So we're constantly working on initiatives. We worked with the Ministry of Health for Children's Welfare as well, where I think the government has worked on a beautiful initiative in all the rural parts of India. Everything is digital. From the time the baby is born, their nutrition is tracked, so their rations are given according to their nutritional deficiencies by the government. There's a lot happening.
Wow.
It makes you feel very proud of what's happening. And is it happening all across the country? I guess eventually we're a big country, so it's going to take its time. But the state of the art digital technology they're using to track which mother cannot feed normally, so they need more ration. It's beautifully done. So we visited all these Anganwadis. We spoke with the parents, the teachers, the children, to understand where we can fill those gaps in terms of education and etc. So there's a lot happening that most citizens don't even know about. So we're proud to be able to assist in that way.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. What did you learn about wellness from the Prime Minister in your experience with him?
I think his vision was very simple and clear, and I'm a huge fan of simple and clear. He said, "Look, diabetes is it's going to become worse and worse. We don't have the infrastructure for that, so it's only prevention that we can do right now. It's connected with obesity. It's connected with people. He wants us to embrace what we have in India."
Yeah.
And I completely agree with him, because look at the Western world today. They're using yoga more than us. They're using pranayama more than us. They're using our own foods more than us.
Yeah.
And we're bringing all of their stuff into our country. So I like his vision of made in India, heal in India. So my conversation with him twice now that we've met has been phenomenal. He's got a vision for the country. I don't understand politics, so I won't comment on that. I don't get involved. I don't speak. I don't understand. But when it comes to health, because he started the Fit India movement, and I remember it was in COVID that I got a letter from the Prime Minister's office for the Fit India movement. No one's really cared about health at the level he has. So it's been amazing.
Let's talk a little bit about wellness and aging gracefully, or trying to not age. So much of what people do in terms of holistic wellness, or let me work out, is far from what you're looking at it as, like internal balance, but it's also because people just want to look a certain way.
Yeah.
How do the two balance each other out, or do they? Is there a way to age gracefully and not use external procedures? I know Botox is one, but one that is very popular in recent media is Ozempic. What is your take on all of the above?
Of course, we can age gracefully. There are many things that are dependent on that. One is our environment, the quality of air, the quality of food.
You've been very vocal about quality of air. I followed that entire series that you were making, and in fact, you told me that you want to go to the government level and kind of get some legal action. So yeah, talk to me about that as well, post this. There's just no way I'm surviving this day without food. A busy day calls for good food. And my HSBC Live Plus credit card makes it even better, because I get 10% cash back on every food order.
Yeah. So we can age gracefully. It really depends on who set the definition of how we're supposed to look. So if we're comparing ourselves to Hollywood and Bollywood, we're going to fit in that compartment, and it's going to be an endless chase. Okay, I have no disrespect to people who need to do procedures. Some people who are in that line of work, it's their livelihood. They need to do it, and they will continue to do it. But the message that comes across to people who ape them, okay, but have completely different lives and lifestyles and don't need that, that's the gap.
Yeah.
That's where social media has become so toxic. So it's who we're comparing ourselves with. You ask, I always do this exercise with men and women, girls and boys. Ask them to define what beauty means to them. Like, what's a good-looking guy to you? What's a good-looking girl to you? And every answer is way different from what social media portrays.
Really?
Every answer is way, 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 way different. So the point is, when we're aging is a natural process. We're aging. You and I are aging as we speak right now. From the time a baby is born, they start aging.
Yeah.
So that's the process. How we can play a role in controlling how fast it is. So the biggest thing that ages us the fastest is oxidative stress in the body. What is oxidative stress? Free radicals. So that's why you'll have all your creams and all of these things that talk about, oh, we neutralize free radicals, et cetera, and this antioxidant, because antioxidants will neutralize free radicals. Unfortunately, free radicals are everywhere. It's in the air, it's in pollution, it's in air fresheners, it's in cosmetics, it's everywhere. So the point is, if we were looking at aging gracefully, how are we preventing things that age us quickly? The quickest way to age, way before your time is sleep deprivation. Number one. That's why your collagen market is so huge. Because if everyone was sleeping well, we make enough of collagen every night. Enough of it.
Yeah.
So you see, again, there's a data point with a following business that grows out of it. 2, smoking. Quickest way. Why? Because of free radicals. You're constantly putting free radicals in your body, so vaping and all that, and you can see that. Today you'll see 22-year-old girls and guys looking way older than they are. Stress is another quick way to, which is why people start getting white hair, gray hair when they get stressed out because of cortisol. Cortisol, adrenaline is supposed to go up and come down. When we're chronically stressed, it's only up.
Yeah.
And we have a hormonal imbalance, progesterone falls, estrogen goes up, testosterone falls. So we're literally inflamed all the time. And the more we're inflamed, the faster we age. We eat the wrong foods, junk packet, all of that stuff, we're aging rapidly. Now, at 13, 14, 15, 16, I can get away with it.
Yeah.
We're very different. Okay, but that's going to be a bigger problem. You're going to start seeing plaque in children's hearts very, very soon. Because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we didn't have access to this when we were teenagers. Teenagers all have access to that today.
Yeah.
So it's going to change. Okay, so sleep, nutrition, overtraining in the gym through exercise will age you rapidly.
Really?
And of course, a sedentary lifestyle as well. Again, because overtraining is a negative stress on the body. And most people are not eating according to the way they're working out.
Yeah.
People are so scared of carbs that they're training heavy, but they've cut down their carbs. They lowered their testosterone, and they have bigger issues. That's why athletes, they eat according to how they train. They train more intensely, they eat more. That's why we're doing it the opposite. We're training more and trying to eat less because we want to, get into shape and stuff like that. So that's a big issue. And yeah, mental stress, like I said, even the overuse of cosmetics is in a way aging women, young girls way faster. And Dermats have spoken about this over and over again because we're not allowing our face and our skin to, I'm not against products, but I'm just putting an understanding over here. People today can't even go out to the sun anymore. But the sun is required for every part of, our existence.
Yeah.
But our skins have become so weak with the constant use of sun protection that we can't even be out in the sun without having an issue without that protection.
Yeah.
I understand in certain parts of the world, like Australia with the ozone, you need to take those precautions.
Yeah.
Even there, I have a mixed review. But in India, absolutely not. I spent a lot of time in the Masai Mara. Okay? Extreme ebony black is the color. They're in the sun every day. Flawless, the most beautiful skin. They don't even know what a cosmetic is. They don't even know what a moisturizer is. I mean, I'm just asking people to awaken and start thinking, is this really helping us or is it putting us 10 steps back? Okay, going out for a party or work, whatever, please do what you need to do. But if it's becoming all the time, when is your skin breathing? How is your skin breathing with all the serums? I'm not saying you in general, even guys are doing all of these things. I'm not against it. But the point is, wake up a little bit and think, is this really natural?
Yeah. There's
Is
like
this-
15-step routines, right? Like morning routines, evening routines.
And people have time for that, but they don't have time for the main things which are actually going to make them age gracefully and beautifully.
Yeah.
Coming to Botox, all of these things. Again, it's alarming because society is showing you how desperate people are
To look a
to
certain
look
way.
a certain way. And when these people come, because a lot of their husbands will drag me, Luke, please tell her no. I just ask her, I just ask the husband, does she look great to you? Or whatever. And, most women will say, I'm not doing it for my husband. I'm doing it because that's what society needs of me,
And that's what I want to see in the mirror.
which is very genuine because that's how social media has programmed all of us to be. Most people don't dress up for their partners anymore. They're dressing up for subconscious validation and approval from everyone around. It's as simple as that. But again, I'm not judging. It's how we've become with social media. So Botox, of course, you can use it clinically. Some people who have extreme, pains in their
Yeah,
bodies,
yeah.
etc., whatever, it can be used. That's what it was used for initially.
Yeah.
But, I have two sets of people who are extremely rich. They travel the world, get all their procedures done in Switzerland, etc., 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 etc. and I can still walk down Hill Road and find a prettier girl. I say this not to degrade them, just to show that now it's become your mind. It's become your whatever. That's how it is.
What about Ozempic?
Ozempic is different, okay? It's a huge issue because of the way it's being promoted and projected. Ozempic is a fantastic drug for the population that it was made for, which is people over 100 kilos, people with metabolic syndrome. Fantastic. I know people who have lost 50 kilos, their heart conditions have gone, their pressure's fallen, diabetes disappeared. It was made for that. Now, because it gave you the side effect of weight loss, it's being misused by people for 5 kilos, 10 kilos. It comes with its side effects. Everyone's friends doing Ozempic will never tell you the darker side of it, what they go through, how their stools become, how they feel, their emotions, because everyone only wants to show their good side of their life. We get to see this. It's a huge issue. And I know India thinks that, the celebrities, etc., and stuff like that. I have nothing against celebrities, but half of them are lying. Half of them are lying.
In what context?
That, I've done it naturally. I started doing OMAD. I started doing this. Why couldn't you do it 10 years ago? I mean, if you've taken it, tell the people. Because India, a population looks up to celebrities. Yeah. Use your power to guide them, put them on the right path. If you used it, tell them. Don't lie and make people think that, this is what's happening and this is hypocrisy. Again, if you use it, some celebrities are open about it. Yeah. We've used it. We've done it. I respect that. They're sending the right message to people. But the ones who are lying and trying to show what they've done, they're just creating a whole frustrated group of people who will think it's that way and try that way and not get anywhere without fixing the root cause of the problem. So these are dangerous. Use the right way, medical supervision. You handle the side effects of it. It's a muscle-wasting drug. So when people come to us, they need to be on Ozempic. We work with them for a month before they start it. We're trying to get their muscle mass up. If they have gut problems, which most Indians have, we try to fix their gut before that so that the drug doesn't hit them and they have worse gut problems and stuff. There's a lot that you have to look at. You've got to look at their vitamin D3 levels. You've got to look at their B12. So you prepare them, like how we prepare a patient to go for chemo. You want to send them in stronger.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So there's the right way of doing it, and then there's the complete wrong way. We're following in the Western, very negative way of, you're in New York and you'll see a bus passing by advertising an Alzheimer's drug. Or Alzheimer's. We're not far behind, and I really hope that doesn't happen because it influences people's minds that, hey, take this. And it is not without side effects. There's a side effect for everything, but it can be managed if you do it the right way and with the right intention.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. To truly live it up, investing in yourself is essential, from nourishing your body to managing your finances. And every time I use the HSBC Live Plus credit card, I get 1.5% unlimited cash back on every swipe. So let's talk about the best investments for ourselves. So we've curated a bunch of questions from people who would like to ask you questions, and it's called the Invest in You segment because what should one invest in today for a holistic lifestyle? So we'll take that. A practice that changed your life but isn't mainstream yet?
Getting sunlight the moment I wake up.
Oh,
I'm
really?
off the bed, I open the window. And like I said, now it's the monsoon. Sometimes you don't get the sun. But by looking at natural light, the sun's still there. It's just covered with clouds. That's absolutely changed my life. And we're trying to push it mainstream now. Yeah.
Wow. A guilty pleasure you invest in once in a while?
It'll be a tiramisu chocolate cake with buttercream icing, Mysore pak. Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay. A wellness trend you would invest in?
I'm trying to think which are the trends. I'm so off social media, but I've not seen any of the trends. I think I would go with the wellness trends of the people who are actually challenging longevity. Where people are pushing you for red light therapy, and then there's the population saying, just go out and get some sun.
Yeah.
You're getting a cold bath all the time. Yeah, reduce that. There are other ways to create hormesis in the body. Yeah. So I think I would go with that trend, trying to realign with nature. Not that I'm against it. If I get access to a sauna, I would love to use it.
Yeah.
But the point is, I'll go with a wellness trend, which is really more rooted in common sense and nature. Yeah.
Okay. One small sustainable change we can make to our daily routine that will lead to long-term benefits?
I think sleep. Yeah,
everybody who's come on Realign especially is like, just sleep.
Yeah, it's sleep. It'll control everything else in a more positive way.
Yeah. One mental habit or thought pattern we can start working on today that will bring about a noticeable shift in our well-being.
That we're not in control of anything. The sooner we embrace that, it just takes the whole pressure that people have been programmed. We are not in control of anything. We are only in control of the actions that we can influence. We're not in control of the past. We're not in control of the future. In the present, we can only influence actions. Of course, I want to be in control of the future. I want to build a great future, but I'm not in control of it.
Yeah.
I am only in control of planting the seeds towards that. And I think that's huge for people to understand, because everyone thinks that they're in control of something or someone,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're not. Most relationships break up today because someone's trying to control the other person.
Yeah.
So we're not in control of anything, and I think that's what I would like people to embrace.
Yeah. Okay. So, final question, right? What is the future of health looking like for you? Is it in the future like tech, where everything from health stats to other vitals can be tracked? Of course, that, but also going back to our roots, right? Like you were saying, like going back to ingredients that are available that are good for us, or a combination of two.
It'll be a combination of the two, because see, we can use tech. It's evolving. AI, but we cannot be 100% dependent on it. We still have to, you see, the body is not math. The body is biology, it's chemistry, it's physiology.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good to get some data points, but going back to our roots is going to be, the sooner people align with nature, the healthier they're going to be. The sooner people decide to choose and redefine what relationships mean to them, mental health and emotional health will start to get better. It's always going to be integrated. There is great data points coming. We can use it, but it doesn't have to be the final verdict. We can use it as like a cue, like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to align. I have so many people, wearing different bands, and they really, hey, Luke, my Whoop told me I've not slept enough. I said, how are you feeling? Oh, I'm feeling amazing. I said, relax, you're feeling amazing. That's it. So we shouldn't lose connection with our intuition. And, because our intuition is our body's wisdom. It keeps telling us the right things all the time if we listen. So it's always going to be an integration of both together. Yeah.
So let's double click on what you were saying about relationships during this time. What do you mean by, our relationships will get better because of emotional and mental, the aspect you just mentioned?
Yeah. See, I mean, I'm not, you'll never see me speaking on Instagram or social media or even writing about relationships. It's not my expertise. I may not be the best person when it comes to relationships in terms of understanding, in terms of whatever. I know what my strengths are, I know what my areas of opportunity are. But I have thousands of patients whose lives I know in depth, because that's what we do. We speak to people, we get to whatever. The one thing that breaks most relationships is a lack of understanding. And the one thing that everyone wants in a relationship is to be understood. But what comes in the way of that?
Ego.
Everything. Life, comparison, social media, etc., etc. Most people, and I have this because I have husbands coming, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends. Like I want to be honest, but my partner doesn't give me the space to be honest. If I'm honest and I say something, it's used against me, etc., etc. And some people just want to be their authentic self. It's very rare to find someone who doesn't want to be honest or doesn't want to be vulnerable, but they've been conditioned because of the past and because of the present into that. But everyone, what I see at the end when people are fighting in front of me and for whatever, everyone's just looking to be understood for who they are. And I think that is one of the most powerful gifts. And that's what I said. For understanding to happen, it's not something that can be learned. It has to, you have to practice people. Like, why is the dating scene always great in the beginning? Because we pretend to understand one another, right? Everyone's saying, oh, you did that. Oh, yeah, you must have done this because you're in love, your hormones, it's a chemical thing, all of that stuff. But why is it working? Because there's a massive part of understanding in that relationship. Oh, she smokes, he loves clubbing. You're trying to understand something, but 2 years after marriage, all of a sudden, no, I don't want you to smoke. I don't want you to club anymore. I don't want you whatever and stuff. But there was understanding then. There's no understanding now. It comes down to understanding. And I truly believe there are many things that a relationship needs, but from my little knowledge, understanding is the most powerful gift that someone can give and receive. Yeah.
Great way to end the episode. Thank you so much, Luke.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic, and looking forward to part 3.
Yep, looking forward to that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
As always, I hope Realign added value to your life, and if it did, please like, share, and subscribe. Every time you do that, it helps our channel grow.